What is your funniest memory with Daddy? What's something funny that happened?
Daddy, we just said, he did the so I asked, so that's my funny part. Bye-bye. Hanging out with me, having fun with me, and having candy with me.
That's the sweetest thing.
Uh-huh.
Luna, what is Daddy to you?
My favorite daddy in the whole world.
Is he your best friend?
Uh-huh. And he's my fun friend. Daddy dances.
Is he amazing?
Uh,
What was your sweetest memory with your dad, and what was the funniest? Let's do funniest first.
Funniest probably had to have been, I think it was Ray Roberts. I think we were Ray Roberts, yeah. We were fishing from the bank, and we were on a camp out. Just me and him, it's like a few years back, and I thought I had hooked something huge. He's sitting there rooting me on, all that kind of stuff, and this thing's like 15, 20 minutes go by, and I end up pulling a brick out of the water that my line got tangled onto some other fisher's line, and that in turn got hooked on a brick. We died laughing at that. Just because I thought I had a fish, and this thing was like a stubborn catfish or a turtle or something like that just was rooting in the mud. And he did too. He thought he had a field day with it because we both thought it was a fish. And I'm bringing this stupid brick up, it's like the size of my head, and I'm trying to figure out how.
Oh my gosh.
Well, because normally, the line would snap and you would be gone. Oh, that sucks. But instead, no, we actually got to pull this thing up, and we were dying laughing about that. Sweetest was. I don't know, there's a lot. The sweetest, it's kind of like a funny and sweet one. I personally remember bits and pieces, but I've heard the story enough times, I feel like I remember it now. It was during Cub Scouts. I think this was like Wheat Blows or Bears or whatever it was. I don't know. I was little. And we had this flash flood come through this campsite we were all at. Everyone is leaving. Everyone. The scoutmaster, the assistant scoutmasters, all the scouts are leaving. And I think, with the exception of me and Dylan Baldwin, we were still there. And I fell asleep, apparently. And my dad, knowing I didn't want to leave, decided he was going to hold the tent up the whole night. Or a majority of the night. Well, it's flooding everywhere. Half the tent was full of water. And he had me on the side that was dry. He's sitting over here in the wet part of the tent, just holding, keeping it from blowing apart. And I wake up in the morning. He says, I wake up. It's like, did it storm outside? He just looks at me. It's like, yeah, it stormed outside. But I thought it was sweet because he knows I didn't want to leave.
Aww.
He was out there holding the tent up. It was cold too. It was wet and cold.
And what does your dad mean to you?
The world.
My funniest moment with Dad, honestly, I don't think I'm able to have a funniest moment just per se. Dad is funny. Every single day he says something funny. So I think those little QT trips that we have, just going out, or whenever we see something funny on a TV show, or just honestly anything. Dad is, I think, probably one of the funniest people I know. He can make a joke out of anything and out of everything. So I don't really have a famous funniest memory. I think it's just my whole life. I think that my sweetest memory is all the daddy-daughter dances we've done. But I think my biggest, sweetest memory from him was the daddy-daughter dance where he actually set it up at home. And we danced in the living room and had snacks and drinks. It was during quarantine. I think that was by far one of the sweetest things he's ever done for me. Dad to me is a best friend. He's a friend. He's a companionship. He is someone who I can tell everything to. He is my dad. He disciplines me, but I still love him and I know that he loves me. Dad to me is someone I know I can trust, I know I can be around, someone who I know always has my back no matter what, and that he would take a bullet for me. Hi, my love.
So I wanted to remind you of what my favorite memories are with you and what you mean to me. My favorite memory is with the Sonic slushie. It was the funniest thing ever. We were driving. I don't remember where we were going, but I remember you poked a hole in the side of the cup and it was going everywhere. And you were going 80 down the road and you turned into this random parking lot and took it and slammed it on the ground and was, and I could just imagine the surveillance photos. Seeing this car spinning around almost on two wheels with you throwing a Sonic slushie out the window. My sweetest memory of you is when you surprised me in my apartment with a Christmas tree. You knew how lonely I was feeling and how the holidays are kind of, you know, have always been kind of hard, and you brought me a Christmas tree and we got to decorate it with Emma. So it was the sweetest thing in the world. I just wanted to tell you that you're my hero. You're my Superman. And I love you more than all the words and all the books and all the world.